The Lakers are reportedly zeroing in on JJ Redick as a head coach. We got the number one fan insider of LeBron James,
Insider is
aka
crazy.
the Lakers, Terrence Whaley.
Insider
What are your
is
thoughts
crazy.
on JJ
Terrence got him
Redick
on speed
being
dial.
the front runner to coach the Los Angeles Lakers, but more importantly, LeBron James?
Bro, I think last time we was talking about this, I talked about how I feel like the Lakers as an organization just like to do the sexy thing. They're almost like the Cowboys in that way, where like they just
I was
want
just about to say that.
the
That's good.
headline. JJ, obviously from the Mind the Game podcast, he's shown to be, be able to like, every basketball or former basketball player or even current basketball player isn't a high basketball IQ player, but he has shown to be able to dissect and draw plays and things like that. That makes me comfortable because I wasn't 100% sure, like, when it came to Darvin Ham, if he was able to do that or if he was even responsible for doing that in timeouts. So that makes me feel comfortable. But as far as commanding a locker room, which I think to me, especially going forward and to be the Lakers head coach, that is what you need to be able to do first and foremost. And I don't see how the current Laker roster and the Lakers brass can expect that JJ is going to do that.
Yeah, I'm curious what his offensive philosophy is going to be.
Personally, like I also like I subscribe to the whole like the Frank Vogel lineup, like having like a big where AD then slides to the floor. That's what I like. I know it doesn't stretch the floor as well, obviously because AD can't shoot. Brown had one of his best, career shooting percentages this year, but I
think you need that though, or you just need it against Joker?
I mean,
be real,
that's.
bro.
I mean, but
I feel
that's
like
the
Lakers
thing.
could probably be any other team outside the niggas this playoffs.
I mean, but I think that's the.
Mavs too?
I think they could have.
I don't know, bro. With Bron this age, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's with Kyrie on the other side too. I don't know,
It's
dog.
tough.
But
I think it would have been competitive though.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think I would have given it to the Mavs because they would have also had home court, and I just feel like Luka would have just pushed it farther than Bron could have pushed it.
Niggas ain't
Type
bodies.
shit.
They have bodies for Luka.
Yeah.
They have that's the thing with Denver. They don't have any defensive bigs. Jokic can kind of hold his own, but a lot of the times in this series, he was just letting people just go by him.
Got to.
So, but he didn't really do that as much last year in their championship run. But I just real quick to say, I think that the Mavs have the bigs to match up with the Lakers, and Denver didn't even have that, and still was able to win. And they have the defense. Denver's not even really like a great defensive team, and the Mavs are the second or third best defensive team since they made those trades.
Yeah, I mean, so I agree about the JJ Redick point about his offensive philosophy, what that'll look like. But I just feel like they're making the same mistake twice, hiring a first year coach, which again we've seen be successful, but you have to have a generational player.
What coaches are out there that you would like to see? Because I feel like even with Darvin Ham, I mean, he paid his dues as well. Do you want someone that has experience already as a head coach or has been through that system to be groomed to be a head coach,
I mean, that the former or the latter.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam Cassell, I know is not the sexy pick,
He's just
but
too ugly, bro.
and again,
Kidding.
exactly. No, that's it though.
Sexy.
That is a part of it though. Dead ass.
I mean,
I guarantee you
Darvin
it
Ham
is.
had that big ass boil on the side
Bad.
of his head. Like if you could do that, you can pick Sam Cassell.
Bad. But I mean, I think that they're making the same mistake twice type shit. But I feel like they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle to say, okay, JJ's can be the next yada 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 coach, and we're gonna be the first on deck to get him.
Do you think it's set up for failure for JJ Redick? Like,
yes,
if this experiment doesn't work,
absolutely.
but I feel like because he's white, he gonna get another job.
He gonna get extended time.
But I feel like it's best served for him. Or I don't know. Do you think it's gonna be like I mean, we can't really predict anything because with Jason Kidd, former player, obviously way better player than JJ Redick. We're not gonna question that. Former player, coach vets right away with KG and Paul Pierce, and then he went to a younger team to try to work with them with the Milwaukee Bucks, didn't work out, then went back to Dallas when he already had a superstar. Do you think it's gonna be something like that with JJ Redick?
I mean, I don't really see
I feel like
where
he should just play with a young team.
Yeah, I mean, Like, I think it would have been much better if he was somewhere like in Orlando as a start, because that's where he got drafted. And also, like, you have that young nucleus there to kind of start, and there's no pressure, and you're in the East. But I feel like in LA, you've got these next 2 years for Bron, because Bron's only playing 2 more years. He's going to play till year 23. The fucking All-Star games in LA, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be 23 years as All-Star, and that's gonna be it. He's gonna cut it. So after those 2 years, it's like, okay, I think that's his leeway. It's like if they don't win and it's whatever on LeBron's curtain call, like, it's cool. But then I think they'll let him stay another 2 additional years to try to figure it out. And I think that's his runway type shit.
So do you think that LeBron and the Lakers, this is just me being an asshole, you think they should have got the 8th seed?
I mean, looking back on it, I mean, sure. But again, like, I think they would have then lost immediately after that.
After the second round, yeah.
And I think that the Jason Kidd comparison actually, to me, is why JJ Redick shouldn't go to the Lakers. Because Jason Kidd now, by pretty much anybody's standards, is a really good top 5-ish coach. When he was first coaching, he was not that.
He know what he's doing.
Exactly. He was a first-year coach, and he had to learn, and he had to get better, and he needed the time, and he needed more than one opportunity. Like, he didn't. If he had never got hired again after his first stint, people would just been like, "Oh, Jason Kidd."
Because I think he got into like some legal trouble a little bit on the low, and then also he got like criticized.
That was the Matt Barnes situation too, wasn't it?
He also criticized.
No, that was Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher. Oh yeah, you talking about
He got criticized on like how intense he was like coaching Milwaukee. But
he also remember he spilled the drink on the sidelines.
Oh, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Was that in a playoff game or a regular season?
I think it was regular season. But that just being said, like, it's already a lot on a first-year coach to just be a first-year coach, let alone be a first-year coach in the Lakers with market. LeBron and AD.
Have the podcast. Fuck.
Mind the game.
It's not. It's
Bron. When Bron ready, he ready.
I mean, again, they looked good in certain stints last year, but again, I need to see what happens post free agency, post draft. But I don't know if there is
you already know you getting for the draft. Insider.
Yeah.
Bronny.
Nasty work.
Bro, I have no idea what's going on, bro. I have no idea what they're gonna do. If they going for Donovan Mitchell, if they going for third star. Me personally, I want the depth.
The Pelicans gave them their pick. Pelicans gave them pick back, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they needed to, because that shit is horrible.
Draft, yeah.
Horrible.
Weak.
Especially 17th in this draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, it honestly just comes down to who gonna be a part of his coaching staff and the personnel that you guys can add to LeBron and AD. Because you have those two and the right pieces around them, you can't count them. You can't count out LeBron and AD.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see, man. Rob Pelinka's up.
Looks this year too, though.
Yeah.
I think we can't. One thing you say you can't count him out, but I think one thing we can't count on is that he's just gonna look the exact same as how he looked last year.
Yeah, we'll see. I have confidence though. I think, but I don't know. Father Time hit different for everybody.
I mean, I would just say this year, he already looked worse than last. His worst is still really great.
It was still really
good.
But
I think even this year, he was not as good as he was the year before.
I think he's at that age now where, like, he just needs to be a third option. Like, even though it's not... I mean, I think we talked about it before, last episode with Mitchell. I feel like that's perfect for them.
But yeah, I think we also talked about how would they make that happen.
Yeah.
When you look at what they just gave
I don't know. Some of these GMs be goofy with some trades. That Drew Holiday trade was crazy.
But there's no way that
getting rid of
they
Malcolm
would
Brogdon
go from what they just had to give up to get Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And then sell him for pennies when he hasn't decreased his value at all.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I'm just wondering how it's going to work because if you don't... Because they said if he doesn't sign his extension that they're going to offer him in the offseason,
they're going to trade
they
him.
would prefer not for him to, basically start preseason. And is he going to do
They'll probably trade him to a team that'll actually have a return.
Yeah.
It's only looking like, I think it's either...
And is the team willing to do that return knowing that he's only going to be there for a season and not resign?
I think it would probably be something... I actually was reading an article earlier about Drew Holiday's trade, and I think it would hopefully be something like that.
Brad Stevens.
They basically said that when Drew got traded to Portland, because remember he originally got traded to Portland before he got traded to the Celtics, they were like, the Cronin worked with him and like allowed him to give him a list of like X amount of teams, and you guys work from there because I will let you know that I will re-sign with any of these teams. So that automatically boosts your trade value.
Yeah.
So I think that hopefully is what they do, and that's the smartest thing to do is like, okay, you're gonna let them know like wherever you trade me, if it's one of these places, I will re-sign there.
Yeah.
So that way, that changes your whole what you're gonna get back.
I'm just curious where he's gonna re-sign because I feel like a lot of places where he would re-sign don't have the assets. I mean, maybe Miami has somewhat of assets, especially for Cleveland. I don't really think New York has assets like that. Like you said, Lakers don't have assets like that.
My thing is like, if you are on Cleveland's timeline,
what is their time?
What is their timeline?
well, I mean, so this is my thing. They're in the playoffs, but if you move off Donovan, are you then going to blow up the entire roster? Or
Hell no.
Okay, so their
Okay,
their timeline is to still be contending in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to send them to Miami and.
So I would. I mean,
Brooklyn, right?
I feel like GMs like that,
I would send them to Brooklyn.
they want to win, but they don't. As long as they make the playoffs, like they're satisfied. So I feel like they would take on a Tyler Hero and like a Jaime Jaquez in draft picks for that nigga.
Okay,
You're also backed into a situation where if he's gonna leave, he's gonna leave, right? So I think that they would trade him if the best offer and like the clearly best offer is coming within the conference, and especially again, they're trying to compete. But I don't think that they're going to think that right after they make this trade, they're going to be a championship level team, you know?
Yeah. I've always just looked at it like good GMs trade them far away type shit.
Yeah.
That you won't see them until the finals.